Oh God, Dane.
Our journey to discover the most broken characters, jobs, and strategies in RPGs has led us all over the place. But there's one series I've been reluctant to fully jump into, and that is The Legend of Heroes. I mean, in a series with, and I'm not joking here, hundreds of party members, most of which by any normal standard are already broken, how do you pick a top 10? Well, after months of deliberation and research, I finally pulled together a list of the most busted, most outrageously broken characters this series has to offer. Before I get started, I do want to give some honorable mentions. First are 3 characters that share a similar attribute. Tio in Trails Through Zero and Trails from Azure, Kevin from Trails in the Sky 2nd Chapter and the 3rd, and Emma from the Trails of Cold Steel and Reverie games. All 3 of these characters have the ability to negate damage twice, which in most of these titles is required for Nightmare difficulty. In Emma's case, she also has one of the highest ATS stats, which makes her a powerhouse. The final honorable mention is the one-hit wonder, Lara. I wanted to put her here so that no one gets angry. Lara's setup to one-shot most bosses in Cold Steel 1 and 2 is the easiest of any party member to set up. Though her S-Craft isn't the strongest, her stats make her ideal for this build. Anyway, that's it for the honorable mentions, so sit back, relax, and while you're at it, why don't you join my Patreon for only $1 a month? If you do, you'll have access to a massive library of content. I also release an exclusive video each month. Just click on the link below to join. Alright, let's get started. Number 10. McBurn appears throughout the series as one of the strongest members of Ouroboros. He's a fire demon whose laid-back attitude belies his godly strength. It wasn't until Trails Through Reverie that you actually got to use him though. But true to the lore of the game, he's absolutely busted. So busted that despite being locked to the Reverie corridor and being obtained in the late game, he still made this list. McBurn is the only party member whose S-Craft has a 6S rating. This attack will cause burn and is an S in all 4 unbalancing types, meaning that it will stagger every enemy. On top of this, his Brave Order gives 100% critical hit and restores 100 CP, and his Super Mode increases all his stats, doubles his HP, and gives him absolute immunity to all stat or ailment debuffs. In the end, McBurn is just simply the strongest character in the game. Number 9. Vita is another character whose availability is questionable, but like McBurn, when she does show up, her highest ATS stat in this series just can't be ignored. In Cold Steel 2, Vita is available for the final dungeon if you completed all the requirements. Not only does she have the highest ATS stat, but she has a massive EP pool as well. Vita in both Cold Steel and Reverie has the unique ability to regenerate EP and HP for every spell cast. Considering the fact that in Cold Steel she comes with 2 Lost Arts and some of the best crafts in the game, and has those available to her in Reverie as well, and you have one busted witch. Number 8. Trails in the Sky was the first trilogy to come from the Trails series and followed 2 characters, for the most part. These are Estelle and Joshua Bright. Now, Estelle plays the role of your typical jack-of-all-trades, but Joshua is a little different. In both the first and second game, Joshua has the highest damaging attacks. In first chapter, it's his S-Craft, Blackfang, and in second chapter, it's Dual Strike. He has high ATS, making him a top-tier caster, and his speed and Black Quartz Orbment set make him fast as well. If a player casts Clock Up on Joshua and Clock Down on the enemy, he'll usually get in 2 to 3 attacks each before anyone else can attack. That speed is mainly what makes him a broken character. Number 7. Van Arkrite is the newest protagonist to the Trails series. He's been playable in 3 games so far and has become one of the most broken protagonists in the history of the series. In Daybreak 1, he's probably the least busted, but that doesn't stop him from hitting this list. His usefulness is mainly found in his stats, exclusive holocores, and his craft, Coin Bullet, which draws aggro, allowing other party members to jump in and attack. In Daybreak 2, he has more accessibility to his Grendel transformation, which this, along with everything mentioned from the first title, just leave Van as the single strongest character in the trilogy. Number 6. Sarah, if she was more accessible throughout the series, would probably go down as the single best character of all time. In Cold Steel 1 and 2 though, her accessibility is questionable, while 3 and 4 it's much better. In Reverie you get full range, but by then, some of her features have been balanced out. Some. First of all, Sarah's evasion is comparable to Fee's. Couple this with her long range counter and she is ripe for the immortal evasion setup from the earlier titles. But then you get into Trails 3 and 4 with the Brave Order system. Here, Sarah has the ability to shorten delay for the entire party. If done right, This allows the infinite turn strategy with Sarah repeating the Brave Order non-stop to continually delay the enemy. This was changed in Trails and Reverie, but even with those changes, she still stands as one of the better characters in the series. Number 5. Now, I did say that Van Arkrite was the best character in Daybreak, and that's true, though Rosette can actually surpass him in tanking abilities with the right setup. In both Daybreak 1 and 2, an offensive strategy is often considered the best, but Rosette's Cobalt Curtain, certainly one of the single best crafts in the entire series, has the ability to make your team unkillable. If Rosette is loaded up with speed enhancing quartz and CP recovery accessories, Rosette can spam the cheap Cobalt Curtain, giving your party the shield status. This is essentially an entire HP bar the enemy must chew through before being able to damage you. If Rosette is casting this every turn, there isn't a single enemy in both games that can damage you, let alone beat you. In the harder difficulties, this strat is all but required of the player. Number 4. Mchius is an often overlooked party member in this series, but has consistently ranked as the best party member in all 4 Cold Steel titles, and Reverie as well. In the first and second games, Mchius has Petrification Shell. It hits almost every enemy on the field, gives decent damage, and has a 50% chance of petrifying, and a 15% chance to inflict another random status element. On top of this, it cancels arts and crafts and causes AT delay. As if that wasn't enough, if you hit enough enemies, you'll actually gain more CP than you spent. Ridiculous, right? But that's not all. Mchius is also the only character in Cold Steel 1 and 2 that can accelerate the entire party. Later, Yuna and Estelle has this ability as well, but their stats and crafts don't compare to his, making him a beast even in the later games. Number 3. No Trails list would be complete without Fie Colossal. Now in the later titles, Cold Steel 3 and 4 and Reverie, her unique stats weren't as unique. Because of this, she dropped from being the absolute best character to a great character. But in the first 2 Cold Steel games, my goodness, nothing stood up to her. In those titles, Fie was the only one able to reach 100% evasion. Couple that with her long range attack and awesome crafts, and the only thing that could hit her were enemy arts, which with her speed, could easily be disrupted. Once you hit that 100% evasion in the mid-game, these titles' difficulty absolutely melted to her awesomeness. Number 2. Almost in the reverse of Fie Colossal, Gaius' usefulness in the first 2 Trails games was middling. He was more or less a jack of all trades. Towards the end game of Cold Steel 3, Gaius gains a new S-Craft called Howling Heaven. The game obviously knew how broken this S-Craft was, so he could only be used during specific times. But in Cold Steel 4 and Reverie, that is not the case. What makes Howling Heaven so busted is that it has absolute delay, which delays all enemies despite any resistances. If you're following me, this means that with the right setup, Gaius can spam this attack and delay every single boss, even the super bosses, in these titles to the point where they will never get a chance to attack. There isn't a more broken strat in the entirety of the series, and it's completely unique to Gaius. Number 1. Rene is the most broken character in the history of the Trails series, and there's not really a contest. First, in Cold Steel 1 and 2, Rene has Arc Slash, easily the most abusable craft in these first 2 titles. Arc Slash delays a group of enemies and can be used to stop anyone from attacking. This was nerfed in Cold Steel 3 and 4, but was replaced by some broken Brave Orders, specifically Divine Song, which allowed instant casting, and his Ogre mode, or Spirit Unification, which still stands as one of the single best buffs in the Trails series. Finally, there is his unique equipment, which, although restricted to the late game, pushes his broken nature over the edge. Overall, Rene is an absolute beast, and still manages to destroy the game's difficulty all the way to the new Daybreak trilogy. And that's the list. Who did I miss? Let me know in the comments below. Also, remember, for only $1 a month, you can get access to hundreds of hours of content on my Patreon, including new videos each month. Thank you to all my Patreon members for support, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And hey, if you like this video, why don't you try out one of these?